Well, it would help if I actually had my sound turned up, wouldn't it? Dearie me. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. Hi Ange, hi Jane. Thank you very much for telling me that there's no sound. Let's start this again, shall we? Okay, so it's Pip Topham here from Queen Pip Cards and the Card Making Know-How Academy. And today we're going to be looking at this kit, which is the Calm and Bright kit. And we're going to be looking at my Lavinia Stamps 2026 calendar. Okay, so we're going to be doing a bit of both. But I wanted to first of all focus on the All Calm and Bright kit. Phew, okay, you can hear me, that's good. Thank you so much. So this is the new kit for this Christmas, but as I said, it is currently out of stock because it's proved so popular. So we're just going to get rid of all the rest of this plasticky stuff, but it will be coming back. It's not gone forever, so don't panic. And some of you may already have got this kit during the special kit sale. That's why it went off, I think. I think the kit sale basically sold out on quite a lot of our kits that was held earlier this month. So if you've got this kit, then well done already for getting it. And if you haven't got this kit, then keep an eye out on the kits page, link of which you can find below in the description. So we've got some little pretty sparkly bits. Well, not quite sparkly, but they're little pretty bits. Dimensionals and glue dots, we love those. Some twine and a block, always handy. And then we've got the main part of the kit, including the instructions. And these days you also get this lovely little piece of extra paper, which is basically, this is what your stamp set is. Okay, so it allows you to put this inside a sleeve or a case or whatever, and then you can store your stamps and know what they are. So that's handy. I keep those and use them for when I'm storing my cards in my cases. So here are the instructions. These are the 3 cards that we're going to be making. They're really pretty. They're very pale, but I kind of like that. I love the soft colours for Christmas. And then here are the instructions, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. So you're going to put your stamps on a block, you're going to ink them up, and you're going to stamp them onto the card base. Again, ink, stamp, ink, and stamp it onto the little tag. This one onto the little, the other label. And then you've got like little dots here. That's a glue dot. And then these little hexagonal shapes that are here on the, here, those are the little dimensionals. Okay, so these are your foam pads and these are your little glue dots, and then everything else is pretty much as it comes. So we'll start at the beginning. It's a very good place to start, as Julie Andrews always taught us, so then we can get going. So here are the pieces that are from inside the kit. We've got some die cut. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? It's got like a lovely little stitching all the way around it. So we've got 3 of those. Now I'm just going to be making one of the cards today. I'm not going to make the whole kit up today, but I will be making the whole kit up because these are going to be some of my Christmas cards this year, so that's good. We've got our lovely, another one with embossing around the edge. That's great. We've got a piece that's got bits popped out of it like a die cut, so it looks like it's been torn out of a notebook. Will come from a notebook anyway. There we go. So just get rid of any extra bits that are left in. Oh, now I'm going to have to hoover them up. There we go. We've got some really nice hammered envelopes. These are not normal envelopes, not smooth. They've actually got a texture to them. Can you see that? They've got a texture on the envelopes. And then inside they've got little snowflakey dots, which is kind of cute. So they're a bit less white, more cream, but not quite vanilla. So that's interesting. Then we've got our card bases, and again this has already been embossed, so this is like a linen finish. These are lovely actually. So I don't know if how can I get this to show you? Is it going to show you? Oh, just there. Can you see? Just up here, there's that linen kind of embossed. Almost got a sheen to them as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3 of those, which are folded that way. There must be a reason for folding them that way. Okay, and then we've got the rest of them are like this, but they're all linen. They've all got that linen texture to them, like they've been slightly embossed, which is lovely. Then we've got our pop-outs. Always cool. The colours are gorgeous. I think this is Pretty in Pink. What would that be? Bubble Bath? I think Pretty in Pink, Bubble Bath, Lost Lagoon, Coastal Cabana, Pool Party. And Cloudy Sky, maybe? Maybe. But tell me what the colours are. It doesn't say. So I've got most of them. I put a pecan pie for these. Grey Granite. It's not Grey Granite. It's Lost Lagoon. And Basic Beige for the little baubles. Pretty in Pink, I was right. And Pool Party, I was right. I'm sure these are variations on a theme, so they sometimes don't put all the colours in, but I'm fairly sure that is Bubble Bath. Okay, then we have another, oh I see, then we've got a layer of tissue paper, which is kind of handy. I don't know if we need that or not. We'll just pop that over there. But I think it's to stop these from popping out and getting lost. And these are our labels and tags, which is cool. I like that addition. And then finally, there's more. Finally, we have these, which is our, ooh, these are pretty. This is pearlized. So this is like a pearlescent cardstock. These are very nice. With little leaves and branches and fronds and trees and things. So they're yummy. Okay, so I'm going to keep that on there in the hopes that that helps to keep them all together. And we're going to get started. So, first off, I'm going to have a look and see. And I think the reason why we have one that is the way it is I think this goes around the whole card front. Yes. So that twine that we have in here, oops, no, turn it around the right way. So the twine is going to go around that entire card front. Let's take these off. So we'll start with this one, which is indeed that card front, and then it looks like we need the one that's got the little stitching around it, or does it just go around the stitching? Oh, I'm going to have a closer look at these images, because that doesn't make it very obvious. I think that definitely goes around that one. This seems to go around the whole thing. That's the stitched one. That's not that one. Okay, let's have a look then. Which one's this? Okay, that's this one. This one goes around the whole thing. Okay, so this one is not actually that. So you just got to check your bases, make sure you get the right one. So it's this one, and it's this one. That way. Okay, and that's what we're going to put the twine round. Okay, so just make sure you get the right base. So this just needs an ordinary base, and we're going to school, and we're going to just fold the school line and burnish that. So what do you think of these? They're pretty. So far, so good. And then our stamps. Where have I put my stamps? Here we go. So we're going to get this little snowflakey dot element off of here. Now this is the small Lost Lagoon spot that you get in the kit. Personally, I'm not going to open that. I like to give them away. I'm using my big one just for speed, and also I'm going to use multiple blocks again for speed because we've got a lot to get done today. So we're going to put the twine around the middle, but I suggest you stamp it first because it's much easier to stamp when you don't have any of the twine involved. So just make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so stamp it down, and then I might just stamp it off. Little one. Okay. It looks like we stamp it here, and stamp it here. Lovely, that'll do. Just a little bit of stamping. Then we're going to get the twine, because we need 30 inches, 76 centimetres. Wowzers. Okay, I'm going to give you a little hint. I don't cut my twine. I just use it to what's needed. But first of all, we have to get the sticky. There's a bit of sticky sellotape on there to hold the end in, to get rid of that. So what I would do is I would turn it over, and if you've got glue, you can use glue dots. If you've got a seal, I would use a seal and just put a little bit on either side. This helps to keep your twine in place, and you also don't need quite so much. And then we're going to wrap it round 1, 2, 3, and bring it down a smidge. Actually, I need it to come down a smidge. Where did I start? I might have started that a little high. Let's take that down a smidge. It's a little high. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, like so. Okay, and stick it at the back and chop it off. And that is ribbon scissors. There we go. And then that bit's done. So there you go. That's the twine. Very easy. So then we're going to stamp a little. I think that's the star. Oh, which one is it though? Could be the big star or the little star. Looks like the little star to me. This is tiny, tiny little stamp. Oh, that's small. Oh, actually, we needed that one on that one as well. Oh, hang on. We needed to put a little star on here as well, apparently. Oh, I see. So we're supposed to have a little star sort of, yeah, somewhere around here. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to put it up there. And then we needed a little star just allegedly down there. I'm going to put mine down here. So I'm already making it different to the... That's fine. It's just the way it is. Okay. And then we need Merry Christmas, which is this big one across the middle. So that's easy. And then we need one of those little tags from the pop-outs that looks like a little, not a circular tag, but a little tag like so. Oh, it's not tiny. Teeny tiny. Okay, and we're going to put a little star on that. So we put the little tiny star in the middle, just about there. Like that. And then we stamp the Merry Christmas onto one of the labels, which is a long label that looks a bit like it's been chewed off at each end. It's like a postage stamp at each end. Okay. How are you finding this? Can you see this all right? You're all very quiet on me today. Okay, so then it needs to go towards the top of this. Is this the right way around? Yes. So towards the top, Merry Christmas, like so. Oops. There we go, because there's something else coming back from our house to yours. From our house to yours, and that gets stamped. Really long, skinny one here. This gets stamped. Here we go, like so. On this coloured label. So we've got like a coloured label like this. Oh, that's teeny tiny. Okay, from our house to yours. I'm going to put my apologies if I get my head in the camera, but this I need to see where I'm going. There we go. That's nice, isn't it? Stamped very nicely. Okay, and then we need a holly leaf. One holly leaf. Holly leaf. I can find a holly leaf in my little poppy out things. Oh yes. Here we go. One holly leaf. And some pink dots. Got those. Alright, so now we have this. And then this is going to go across here. Poking out kind of that side of it. Okay, so this probably is easier to use glue dots, or if you've got glue like I have, I'm just going to use some glue. We need to put the holly leaf has to go underneath it, apparently. So we're going to put the holly leaf underneath and then the berries on top. So this comes in about sort of here-ish. Move it down a smidge, like so. So just make sure that you stamp that at the top, otherwise you won't have room for that. I'm going to tuck my holly leaf in underneath while it still has glue on it, like so. That just holds that in place. And then we will grab our little pink dots and we will... Now you can use, you know, I know you guys are probably, some of you may just have the kit, in which case use the glue dots as directed for the holly leaf, to just pop it in underneath there, and the glue dots for the for this strip as well. But if you have got glue, then you could use glue. And then we're going to take 3 of these and we're going to put them in a little cluster sort of here. So it looks like the holly has got berries at the end of it. And those berries are now on the label, like so. Pretty. And then we just need to assemble. Now, it's not as easy as we think, because there's more things that need to go on. Because we've got this, we've got our little tag, and we have a little house. Oh, there's the tag. Right, okay. So we have a little house that we've got to pop out as well. Oh, lots of bits going on here. And some fronds, some leaves. I'm going to pop a house. Okay, these may take a little longer than I planned, because there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a house. We need 2 frond bits. So 2 of these. This one, the pearlescent ones, they're so pretty. 2 of those. Okay. And another holly leaf. Okay. That makes more sense to have 2 holly leaves, doesn't it? There we go. Put one out. Okay, so now we're putting all this lot together. So we have our twine. Okay. We're going to put on top of our twine our words. Okay, like so. So we just need some dimensionals. And they've got mini ones, which I think is wise, because we're going to go around twine. Now, for me, I sometimes find it easier to put them actually on, like it says, bring it down slightly, so it's a little bit further down, so mainly they're going at the underneath. So we'll just put it down here. Now, if anyone's watching this going, no soggy middles, Pip, it won't have soggy middles because it's going to be hitting the twine at the top. So it says to do that, and then to do one at the top and one at the one here and one here. It says to only use a lot less than that, but I can't do that. So we'll just get these ones on and do it this way. There we go. Kind of matches with my nail polish today, which is kind of cool. Okay, so this is going to come down here. And then make sure that's sort of straight. Is that sort of straight? Doesn't look straight at all. That looks much better. There we go. Alrighty, so that's on. Yes, looking good so far. So then we're going to attach the house. What do we attach the house with? Doesn't actually say. Hang on, am I supposed to be tying a little bow in that? Oh, I am. Lord. Okay, so I think these would use glue dots at the back of this. I'm going to use some glue. It seems to be sitting behind the label. So I'm going to put glue. Where I put glue, you put glue dots, okay? And that sits in kind of behind here. So just in from the Merry. There we go. Oh, that's a bit lopsided. That's better. Don't want a house that's not straight. Okay, and then what we have is we have this little tag, which requires us to tie a tiny, teeny, tiny bow in one of these. So let's do that. Now, if you don't know how to tie a bow, I do actually have a video on how to do that. But I'm trying to be economical, but I think they've given us plenty, so that's good. So, like this small. Come on. Why is that not pulling tight? Come on. There we go. Really tiny, tiny bow by the looks of it, because it's got to fit with that teeny tiny teeny tiny label. I mean, it's a tiny tag, isn't it? So it only needs to be little. There we go. Like so. And I'm just going to chop the ends off so it's even. And then this looks like we put a little, I mean, it says to tie it through it, but personally I'm not tying that through there. I'm just going to add that with a little glue dot, because that's just nuts. So what I would do there is I would put this, take that off. Oh, the whole thing's come off. Okay, so the glue is now on the back of this. I'm going to stick that over that hole there like so. I'm going to pull the backing off. Okay, like that, and then you are left with a little glue dot. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that if I bring that up. Can you see that there's a little glue dot on the back there? Just on the back there. I'm going to pop my little bow and attach that to the front to the glue dot that's through that hole. Okay, so that's now attached and safe, and it's not going to undo itself. Okay, now on the back of that we put a little mini dimensional. Like so. Oops, like so. And then I'm going to work out where that goes in a minute. I think it goes on top afterwards. Okay, so now we need our other holly leaf, and we need 2 glue dots for these. So these are going to come down. This holly leaf is going to come across here. It's going to have a piece. Where are these pieces going? Are these both going in the same direction? Yes, they are. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to have a piece coming here and a piece coming here, kind of like so. They've turned it over, but is it pearlescent on the other side? No, so they have one white and one pearlescent. Okay. You could do that if you want, or you could have them both pearlescent. It's up to you. I'm going to keep the pearlescent one on top because I think it looks nice. So we'll stick that on with a glue dot. Stick the glue dot on there. And then take the top off, attach the pearlescent one to the top of it, like so. And then we're going to put the, actually this one's quite far over. We'll just twist that slightly, that way. This is going to go on top there, like so, if I can work it out. This has all got to somehow tuck in underneath here. Okay, that's what we're ending up with. So we'll put glue dot on the back of this, just so that it attaches properly. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong one. I think there's like a top or a bottom to this holly, which sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Okay. Are you guys still there? Because you've gone awfully quiet. That's going to go on top of there. This is going to have a dimensional on the back of it here. This is going to come in underneath here, just like that. A bit further over actually. So it goes just over the edge there, like so. And then this little tag sits on top of the frond, just in there, like so. There we go. So we've got a little tag with 2 little holly leaves, 2 little frondy bits coming out, and then this, and then the lovely pink house. And then all of that is popped up on dimensionals on the back. So I'm going to use my larger dimensionals for this, just because it will be quicker. So then we put all of this up on dimensionals. Hi Debs. It is a bit more complex than usual. Yes, Jane, it is. This is a much more detailed one than I was expecting for today. So I'm not sure I'm going to get to my Lavinia, to be fair, because I think these ones are going to take me a while. I may have started with the more complicated one, who knows, but it's number 1 on the list. So, and everyone's like, yes, why are you putting on so many dimensionals? I don't like anything that's soggy, so I can't stand it if it goes through the post and gets crushed. So if you give it a good backing, you can use foam tape, big foam pads, anything that's going to give you a firm base is my suggestion. But yeah, there's a lot of elements on this. And I think the next ones are going to be just as complex. So this may end up being just a Christmas card one today, because I do, unfortunately, have places to be later on today. I've got to get stuff for retreat, which is coming up at the weekend. It's all very busy here this week. Right, okay, make sure that you've got your card opening the right way, because we've all done that before. Put it on the wrong side. And then that just goes down like so. Oh, that's pretty though, isn't it? I mean, it takes a while, but it's pretty. How long does that take? That's taking us half an hour. Wow. Okay, but I did have to explain everything first, so let's just get rid of those. But it is pretty. It's pretty. And you get 3 of those to make, so you know you're going to be making quite a few. So that's the first one. Let's go to the second one. Hello, Trisha's on. No soggy middle, says Debs. Absolutely. Ah, Trisha, she says, I've just started mine. Excellent. Yeah, it's complicated, Trisha. There's quite a lot going on in these. Okay, so the next one is, I think, the one that we do have to go right the way round the card. So I think this is this one. Okay. So on this one, there's nothing on the base, but we do have to tie the twine all the way around, and it needs a knot in the middle here. So we're going to go as I did before. Again, I don't measure anything. It's going to be tied, so that's not going to take too long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So go around 6 times. That's going to get you a middle. And then don't worry about where it all is at the minute. We can always sort that out later. Okay, we can sort all this lot out later. What the important thing is that it's going to get itself tied in a knot in the middle, and it wants us to tie it all together. So get this end, tuck it all the way under all of them, bring it back over. See that? So now what you've done is you basically created like a loop underneath those. And then you can just tie that in a knot. And that will tie them all together. And just make sure it's tight. And it's in the centre. There we go. And then you can just smooth these out. Untwist or twist, depending on how they're set. I'll have to just tuck one over the other and ease it out. You can get them to move just about. Oh, come on. That'll do. They'll be fine because it's all hidden underneath. There we go. So, there we go. So now we've got our 3 like that. That's tied in the middle. Just cut those short. Yep, cut them short. Okay. This is going to be hidden behind our front piece. So that's that bit. And then we need our piece that is a base piece. Why did I put that? Here we go. Oh, Jane says she's sorry she can't make retreat. It clashes with her grandchildren duty. I know. There's always something that, you know, it's busy, right? Life is busy, so don't panic. You're okay. We'll let you off. Grandchildren duty is much more important. Okay. So now we're going to have the big, this is the big circle. with the star in the middle of it, like that. Ah, do you know what? I just found another. Just found another little star. I think this was the star we were supposed to be putting on the front one. So ignore me. I think it was supposed to be this one, not that one. I thought it looked a bit weird, but never mind. We can always adapt. So here's another little one too. This one's just literally got just a little star on, but it wasn't obvious, I have to say. Okay, so we've got that. Then we need joy, sending joy. So we need that one. Let's put that on another little block. Oof, that's dirty. That'll be right. And then we need the snowflake. We've got the little snowflake one. There's loads of little tiny stamps in this. Do not lose them. Okay, so I'll put that one on there. Okay, and then we need some more snow. So we're going to do some more snow on here. So we have snow coming down like this, and on either side. So one there and one there, like so. Then we have the little, no, that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. And then we have the little bauble. It's a little bauble tag like this. And on that one, we're putting the larger. So I'm going to have to move this closer to my head. I need to be able to look at this one properly. Right, here we go. Make sure it's in the centre-ish. You'll forgive me if it's not quite, because I'm doing this on telly, as it were, live. Oh, it's not too bad. We can live with that. Okay, then we need the baubles. So we have these baubles, like so. These ones, and then we do the little snowflakes. This is quite cute. The little snowflakes in the centre of the baubles. One there, one here, like so. Alrighty, so we've got that. Then we need a tag. It's going a little bit quicker now. I'm working this out. We've got one of these tags. And this tag we have to stamp with the words sending joy. That's a nice sentiment, isn't it? I like that. Kind of there. Again, down towards the bottom. Is that crooked or straight? No, it's straight. It's just a little bit over that side, but that's okay. Once that's dried off, we're going to attach with glue dots the bauble to the back of here. So that's going to go on top of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use some of my glue. It's just easier. So we're going to just do a dab of glue there, or a glue dot there, one there, one there. Okay, like so. Jane said she's just finished the festive tag kit from last year. I know they do keep going a while, don't they? But hey ho, such is life. Right, at least you got it finished though, Jane. That's the good thing. And put that on top there like that. Okay, so this is going to sort of hang here, okay, on the middle of this. That looks nice, doesn't it? Right, and it's going to have lots of frondy bits. So we've got some green frond bits. Oh, these are very fine. These are very, very fine. So just be careful not to rip any of these as you get them out, because they're very delicate. There's one. I'll get this one out because this one looks like it's half out already, so that's good. That's two. On that way. Oh, do they go different ways? Oh, they do. Yeah, silly woman. Right, make sure you've got them going the right way. These go different ways, not like the other ones. Okay. So we've got, that's it, like that. One that way, and then some leaves, but the pearlized leaves. These ones. These also go one way and the other way. That one and this one. Okay. So that way and that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a flower. That's the flowers. Oh, the flowers have got 2 different colours. So there's the dark pink and the light pink that overlap each other. Pretty. And then some dots. Right, okay. So now we can now we've got all the bits, now we can assemble it together. So we are going to load them up from behind. So let's see, I think they're all basically going onto this flower. So let's get the flower sorted first. And I'm just going to use glue because it's easier. Put that one on there, that one on there. So it's kind of, is it symmetrical? Not really. They're not exactly, I'm just moving it around to see if I can get it more symmetrical. They're not actually symmetrical. It's just kind of a bit random how those go together. Okay, so we'll just make that up as we go along, put that there. Then on the back of this, we're going to build it up backwards. So on this has one, I think they all go onto the flower rather than onto this tag, and then all of that goes onto the tag. So here, a little bit of glue here. So it doesn't really matter, I'm just going to build it up this way round, and then you'll still see it the other way round. So I'm going to put the 2 green first, put them like that. Then the pearlized ones, making sure that the pearlescent piece is down, so it's going to show from the front. So we need to glue the pearlescent side, so then it's going to go here. Actually, I think they went on top. Well, we could just try and tuck that in underneath there. That'll work fine. Oops. There we go. Yep. That's nice. Perfect. We'll do that the same on the other side. So a little bit of glue on the pearlescent bit. And we'll just tuck this underneath here. Okay. So when you turn it over, there we go. See, we've got the little fronds coming out there like that. And that is everything that goes on the back of that. And then that we glue dot onto here. So again, we'll just put a little bit of glue on there. And that's going to go there. And just leave that to settle. Oops. I've got something sticky on it. I've got something sticky on my, a little bit of glue on my thingy, on my little poinsettia, pink poinsettia flower. There we go, that's better. Okay, we're going to put 3 white dots, if I can find where I've put my dots. Now, if I was dots and Pip had just used me and then sort of flung me aside, where would I be? Here we are. Just behind here. There we go. So we're going to have 3 of these. Oops. 1, 2, oops, 2, a bit closer together. 3, there we go, like so. And then what we're going to do is, so that's sending joy, that's lovely, that's going to go on here. Is this going up on dimensionals? Yes, this is going up on dimensionals. Okay, so that sort of sits kind of like that-ish. A bit down, we want this hanging just over there. So we'll put some dimensionals on the back of this. And I am going to add dimensionals down here. It says not to, but I'm going to because I don't want them catching. Oh no, it does actually say put them on there. That's okay. Good. Good, good, good. Because I think it does need... It's going to need some support. Those. Again, with no soggy bits. It's because this is taking the weight of all that front piece, so it needs to be quite secure. I've got a spare one now that I don't need for this. So back over there. Right, so and take these off. What do we think? Do we think this is fiddly but worth it? I mean, I don't think you're going to be making necessarily hundreds of these, but I do think you could make 9 and they'd be quite a nice kit. Okay, so that's that. And then finally we need to tie a little bow on this thing again. So tie a little bow here. There we go. And then again, just take that down a smidge and use a glue dot like we did last time on this, because that worked pretty well. So normally they stay on the sheet and then you don't have to like manually do them, but they're not staying on the sheet for some reason. I don't know why. So we'll have to do this from here. That's fine. Stick that on the back there. Lovely. And it says to put this on another dimensional, but I don't know. It seems a bit excessive. I'm just going to use another glue dot on the back of that. I don't think I want to lift that up again because it's going to need to be lifted. At the end of the day, we want these going through the post. So again, I'm just going to dangle that and just attach that there, like so. There we go. And then again, because we've got our twine, this has to go up on dimensionals. So I'll put this one on. And again, I'm going to use this here to do this and to do that. And then see where else I need them. One at the top. Here, definitely one down here. So those two are going to hold it in the middle, so that's good. So I just need a few more down here. One there. Still going to be a bit, I mean, I'm just not sure where that twine's coming to. So hopefully that'll keep it secure and the twine will keep it in the middle, plus these two. There we go. And then we'll just pop that like so there. There we go. Card number 2. Wow. 15 minutes for that one, so that's not too bad. So it's probably about 20 minutes a card, 15 to 20 minutes per card. So this kit will keep you going, that's for sure. But it is pretty. Okay, so that's that one. And then the final one that we're going to do is back to an ordinary, no, not that one, back to an ordinary fold. Let's just get rid of these again. Make sure you don't hoover up any stamps so they come off, just in case. Okay, so then the final one is this one with the trees and the deer. We love a deer at Christmas. Okay, so now we have a little bauble tag on these little bauble tags, and we have just an ordinary long slim piece of card. So one of these long labels, like so. Another one of the pre-cut pieces. This time the one with the lines around the outside, so like that. This is going to be a landscape card. So that's on there, that's on there. We're going to stamp this and this. So this little bauble has the snowflake on it again. So put this on. Bring a bit more light into the equation. So that has a little snowflake on it there. Well, there we go. Like so. And then all is calm, all is bright. is the other set of words. So we need to get rid of that one. And then all is calm, all is bright. I always kind of try and lay it down so you're not pulling it off and pulling it on. That keeps it nice and straight. So all is calm, all is bright. Sort of. Ugh, I've smudged it. Rubbish, turn it over. Come on, come on. That's better. That's better. It's a bit messy. There we go. All is calm, all is bright. Nice. Any more? Oh yes, more snowflakes. More snowflakes all over this one. So there we go, kind of up and across, 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 and sort of down here. Okay, nice. I can just put the little star one in there as well. And actually, I think another couple of those there. Okay, like so. So that's that. And that's all the stamping. Okay, so we can get rid of this now so I don't get that covered. And now we're going to assemble trees. So lots of different trees. So we have right, one big one. We've got more trees anywhere else. Okay, so we're going to make 3 cards, so it must be one of each, right? Because you can't have the same colours twice. It looks like it's the same colours twice, though. So that doesn't make much sense. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, okay. Have we got any in there? Pearlescent. Have we got any pearlescent trees? Ah, pearlescent trees. Here we go. 2 of those as well. I was thinking there's not enough trees. So, here we go. Right, so the big one sits at the front with the 2 pink ones behind it. Then we're going to have the 2 pearlescent ones, 1 and then 1, and then that one and then that one. Okay, so we've got to kind of work out roughly where they're going to go. So I would work from back to front, obviously. So I think it's the 2 pearlescent ones first. So you need to know roughly where that's going to be in the centre. But these then tuck behind. So they're going to go about here-ish. Because it's pearlescent, I'm going to use my tape. I'm going to say that one goes about there-ish. And then this one just a little bit. And I'm only using tape because it's pearlescent. You could use glue dots as well. Like that. And then pink. In fact, I might even go a bit further over than that. Might even go a bit further over. I think they do. So the good thing about tape is you can kind of twizzle it off. So yeah, I think a bit further over. And then the light pink one. It says they're all on dimensionals apart from the 2 at the furthest back. So we'll put those ones down next. I'm going to use glue with these because these are cards, so that's okay. So these go at the back, sort of here-ish. And one here on this side. Even a bit up there. Yeah, actually a little further up maybe. No, that one's now stuck, so that's going to stay there. Okay. Then the pink one goes a little bit to the front, and these are undimensional. So let's see. 1, 2. Am I going to get 3 on there? No. So we're just going to have to cope with 2. So these are just a little bit kind of here, like so. And then this one. 1, 2. This one here, like so. And then this big one at the front. And if we put the dimensionals just along the centre of it, we can always tuck it in behind or in front of the others. It'll overlap nicely. So we want that to kind of overlap with this one here and here. Could have been a bit closer together, but it doesn't matter. There we go. Like so. All right. So then we're attaching 2 more fronds, but white fronds this time. So these white fronds here. Again, one way, one the other. One way, one the other. Okay, so this one's coming in here, this one's coming in here, this way round, and those are going to attach to the back of our little tag. Does our tag have twine? Yes, it does. Of course it does. More little bows. I really like their bows at Stampin' Up, I have to say. And I like a bow. Nothing wrong with a good bow. But these are little ones. And I think you're supposed to tie it through the tag, but that would, I think that would drive most people nuts. So we're just going to cheat. Nothing wrong with a good bit of cheating every now and again, if need be. For your bows. Oh, lost my snips. Where have I put my snips? Come on. Seriously? Oh, I just chucked it back in there in the wrong place. Okay. Okay, so glue dot at the back of this one again. Take it off. Put the bow on. That's that bit sorted. And then underneath here, we're going to be putting just about where the bright is. I'm just going to put some of that. Now it does want to be we want to make sure that these are coming out the right way, so we want them to come out this way and this way. This way and this way, like so. Yeah. Now, interestingly, what they say here is that this is going to go straight on top of here, so we just need a bit of glue at the middle, which it is, and then just a dimensional at each end. And I actually agree with that one. It's because all of this is going to be resting on there, so it should be fine. So just take this bit off, and then this can just rest on top of here. So make sure it's centralised. Oh, no, a bit higher than that actually. There we go. That's okay. Centralised. I'm going to I'll get rid of that glue in a second. Okay. And then we need our little tag. So that's going to be, surely that's just going to be glue dotted on then, isn't it? It's not going to need a, oh, it does need a dimensional. Really? How's that going to go on there? Okay, we'll stick a dimensional on it and see how that works. think I want to put one on this side, a bit further over this way. So it's just going to sort of tuck on top of that, sort of there-ish. Okay, and then the deer, we've got a little deer with a bit of glue, and he's coming in front of the tower. Kind of says to the side, but I don't really know how that's going to work. This is supposed to be a little bit further over, so let's just. That's not going to work, is it? Come up a bit, get rid of that. Move this one a bit further over. Good news is we can get rid of that because we have a glue eraser. So if you ever get anything like that stuck, don't panic. You can just whip it off with your glue eraser like so. I think this needs to be a little bit further over here, sort of down here-ish. There we go. And then he's going to sit better up there. There we go. That's more like it. And he sits up there like so. And then again, dimensionals all the way around on the back. Now for this one, it doesn't actually need to have dimensionals all the way around on the back. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to glue it. Because it's got quite a lot on top already. I don't think it needs any more, to be perfectly honest. Make sure it opens the right way. And put that down like that. There we go. And that is card number 3. Isn't that great? Smashing. Oh, good. Well, I haven't even had time to drink my tea. You'd have put the deer on the other side. Yeah, there's more room on the other side, I agree, but for some reason they put it on this side. I mean, from a balancing perspective, it probably should go on this side with all this other stuff. Otherwise, but you could put it on the other side, to be honest, Jane. I think it's entirely up to you, and I would do whatever makes you happy. So that's the beauty of the kits, isn't it? Okay. So now we can see all 3 of them that we have finished. Oh, this one not got any dots on at all. Oh no, there's dots. Hang on, I've forgotten the dots. There's dots. There's a dot. I don't know what that one's doing over there. Take that one. There's one here. One just above his head, like so. There's one just above this tree, and there's one just under here, like so. I'm going to put this over here, like so. There we go. I didn't think they'd forget to put dots on it as well. Right, so that's that. So now we've got that one. We've got that one. Right. And we've got this one. I'm just going to put those 2 up there and this one down here. Hopefully you can just about see them all. I think they're very pretty. I think I've made a couple of mistakes. So these stars should have been the little stars, but never mind. It looks all right. But apart from that, they're very pretty. Very pretty. Yes. But they take some doing. That's what I'm going to say. So don't expect to do masses of these in one afternoon, because I think even if you went all in, did all your stamping, did all your thing, whatever, it's still going to take you a while just because of the fiddly bits to get them all together. But it is worth it, I think. They just look good when it's done. So that's that. We definitely haven't got time for me to jump in and do the calendar, but let me just show you what I'm talking about. And then I will show you when I've done it. So this is the calendar, and it comes like this, and it comes empty. So every page is blank up here, all blank. And then it just gives you an idea of what you might want to use on that page. Okay, so yesterday in the membership, in the academy, we did my December page. I've added sparkles now so you can see it properly. So this is my December page, and you can see, look how sparkly that is. Ooh, pretty. And I added some moon highlights to the hairs and from the moon, and coloured in the baubles on the tree. So yeah, so this is like my moonscape Christmasscape, and that's for December. So that'll be what I have next December. And I was going to do today the Halloween one because it is, you know, Halloween this month and it's October. So I was going to do October, but we've completely run out of time. So I will work out my design for that. There's a little cauldron down here which gives you some idea that it is a Halloween month. I'll work out my design for that and I'll share some photos over in my group or on my page, and certainly I'll share it in the membership. So Jane says she likes the Joy one best. I think I like the Joy one best actually out of all of them. I think it's pretty. So I mean the Merry Christmas is nice with its house. I think you might be being, I think these two bits put you off because they're a bit too bold for it. But I do think the Joy one is pretty. I do think that's lovely. It works well with the twine. Yeah, I think they're all pretty. I love the colours. I think the Lost Lagoon and the pink and the pearlescent is really nice. That pearlescent is just yummy. See it shining, which adds something, I think. Having a little bit of pearlescent on your cards. It's nice. We don't really have, we haven't got much pearlescent with Stampin' Up. So there we go. And of course, oh, there's a bit sticky down there. Of course, you can add your own bits and pieces to them if you wanted to. I think they normally have enough that you've got a couple of, like a spare of everything, just in case you go wrong. So you could always make your own version up as well at the end of it with different card bases and stuff. So there you go. That is the All Is Calm and Bright kit. That's the word I'm looking for, kit. But it's out of stock at the moment. So have a think. Angela likes the Joy one as well. Yeah, I think that's a corker, that one. I think that one's, they've done really well with that one. So have a look, catch up on the kits if you haven't got it already. See when it's available and you can shop. Alrighty. So I'll see you at the same time next month. When we'll be doing something else. I'm not sure what yet, so I'll let you know. I have got another kit in. Which one was this that I got in? I've got this one. This is the Heirloom Arrangements kit, which has got a lot of a lot of cards in it. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing all of that one, or I thought I had another one somewhere as well. What's this one? Hang on, let me just destroy the side here. Which one's this? Brighten Your Day. Did I do that one? Oh, we might do that one as well. I've got Brighten Your Day, which is very pretty. That's very soft. Or I might do the Heirlooms one. Or you never know, I might do my Lavinia calendar and do January or something instead. So we'll see. All right. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for your company. And if you're watching on replay, please do leave a message. I'll get in touch. Tell me which one's your favourite. And we'll see if we can create a consensus that the Joy one is so far the favourite. Alrighty, take care for now and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.